Stalkers may stalk for various psychological reasons, like obsession, control, or some form of distorted reality. Some fixate on their target thinking surveillance will fulfill all their desires. Others use stalking to exert power or control. Others are simply paranoid. Though no two stalkers are alike, we should know it's never, ever the fault of the victim.
So, YouTube, we need to talk. And we need to talk about Baby Reindeer. So, in this week's Cyber Saturday video, even though I barely have a voice, I thought this important enough to speak about. Baby Reindeer, the Netflix series that has the internet in a storm, recently came out and is seriously successful. Tells the story of Donnie Dunn and how he is stalked by a lady named Martha. This is based on the real life situation that happened to Richard Gadd, who wrote the screenplay as well as the one-man show that he did on stage. Now, it is not to say that everything in Baby Reindeer is an exact replication of what happened to Richard Gadd. But the internet, being the internet, has gone to find the real-life Martha. And in the worst display of journalistic integrity that doesn't exist in a human being, Piers Morgan went to interview her. She's already proven to be problematic after another journalist interviewed her, tried to keep her nameless and anonymous, and she already started sending him text after text about Richard Gadd and everything in between. And then Piers Morgan happened, and she made herself out to be this angel who was gonna sue Netflix and Richard Gadd. But the thing is, right? Stalkers will stalk. And whenever you feed into that ego of theirs, she could have stayed anonymous. Richard Gadd tried everything in his power to keep her anonymous. Same goes for Mark, whom people try to figure out who he is, but it is not to say that these are exactly people and situations that happened exactly as made for TV. Made for TV and made for the stage has to be dramatic, has to have that dark sense of humor that keeps you to the edge of your seat, wanting to watch. Why? Wanting to understand what is going on. And the problem here is, as someone having dealt with a stalker, these people want that attention. They're hungry for you noticing them, for you talking about them, for them being part of your reality. And where she could have just kept quiet, she's gone and made herself public and taken ownership for her role. And the first thing that stood out to me when I saw the picture of, I'm not even gonna name her, of this real life stalker versus Martha, I was shook the way that they look alike. I was like, okay, sure. But the problem again is, Richard Gadd said, please don't go find these people, because that's not what the show is about. The show is about him dealing with the demons and the battles that he had gone through in a time where his life was upset by an actual stalker, and also the pain that he had to deal with being SA. And you know, it's such a hard thing to talk about, because I've been through similar situations, and being able to then verbalize and show the world what has happened. And technically with her display, now she's validating everything that he said. It is the part that got me wanting to make this video was when I saw earlier today a video that said Piers Morgan said that he doesn't believe bits of both stories. It doesn't matter what we believe. It doesn't matter if we believe real life Martha or Richard Gadd with regards to Donnie Dunn and Baby Reindeer. What does matter is that we believe the victim in the sense that we can say he was essayed, he was stalked. That we can believe. And nobody should take away from that. But the point of the matter is, we should be believing victims. We should be strengthening the voice of victims and not creating discourse about who's wrong, who's right, who is the real person. What we should be celebrating is Richard Gadd making his voice heard, telling his story, and setting himself free from the bindings that his stalker had over his life. We should celebrate that. We shouldn't be making this thing about real life Martha. That takes away from Richard Gadd. And therefore, as an ending to this video, Richard, I know you might never see this, but well done on telling your story in a way that mattered, in a way that brought to life what being stalked is like, and how it can affect your mental state to change it to ways that you would never have thought you would have acted in real life. But being stalked can drive you to being somebody entirely else, doing things that don't make sense to anybody else. In that situation, we're all unique, and we can't say how we would act. And therefore, my last message to everyone, let's validate the victim and not give this stalker a voice that should not be there. Because it was never, ever about real life Martha. It was always about Richard Gadd telling his story in a way that makes sense. And also a way that would make people aware of what it is. It's usually when we see stalkers in our mind, we picture scary looking, strong stalker man stalking poor female victim. And this shows that it can be just as dangerous the other way around. And that is also another powerful message that we should hold dear and that we should realize about Baby Reindeer. It's a beautiful artistic demonstration of depiction of real life. It isn't the exact same story, and it might be different to what really happened. It is a TV show based on reality, written for TV. And remember, whenever something's written for TV, it's gonna be dramatized, so it keeps us watching. So it keeps us on the edge of our seats, wondering, why? Why does she call him Baby Reindeer?
Thank you for watching. Please share your thoughts on Baby Reindeer in the comments down below.